Hey there, welcome to First Five. If you're looking for encouragement, you came to the right place. Let's dive in. So today I want to talk about something that I know I'm not great at, but it's something I want to grow into and get better at. I want to get better at silence because right now I suck at silence. I'm a stark extrovert. I have always loved people and talking. I can talk to a wall. I'm literally talking to a camera now. Like, talking is so natural to me, so it's hard for me to remain quiet. And if you think that I talk a lot, imagine what's going on in my brain. There's a lot of different thoughts and a lot of activity happening. I rarely have moments of solitude and moments of silence to think and process through life, but I think they are so great and beneficial for our lives. To take time out of our days to sit in silence, to ponder our present moment, to think about the future, to reflect on the past. We need silence in our lives and a rhythm of silence and solitude in our lives so that we can be able to meditate on our present moment, on our past moments, on our future to come. We need silence, and I suck at silence. But I have an example for those of us who are people of faith, specifically within the Christian realm. There's an example that we have in Jesus. He would always kind of dip away off into the silence and go off to a secluded area and just exist, just be with God and his thoughts and his prayers toward God. It actually says, Luke says this of Jesus. It says, but Jesus himself would often slip away into the wilderness and pray. This was a practice of this person, Jesus, this was a practice of the Son of God, that he would go off into silence, into solitude, and hear from God, talk to God, meditate on his life and his day and his future to come. And so I think that if that is the example that we have set for us, that we could do well to meditate on our days, to sit in silence, to accept and embrace moments of solitude so that we could learn more about ourselves, so that we could learn more about the world around us. I believe that moments of silence give us greater insight into the world around us. Because when we're silent, when everything settles, we can really think about the things that are happening to us. We can think about the state of our world. We can think about the atrocities that we face on a consistent basis as a human race. We can think about the injustices of the world. We can think about maybe ways in which we might be called to address those things. When we have moments of silence, we can think through the world around us, but we can also think through our very present world, the moment in time that we live in, the circles that we frequent. Silence gives us the opportunity to reflect on the past and to meditate on the present and think toward the future. It gives us an opportunity to assess where our heart is. Assess the areas of our life that may need some tweaking and may need some changing in order for us to live the life that we feel that we've been called to. We have an opportunity to do some self-evaluation. Who am I? What am I doing here? Silence and solitude gives us the opportunity to ask the big existential questions of ourselves, and for those of us who are people of faith, of God. Silence and solitude, that rhythm of silence, a consistent rhythm of silence. You see, again, like I told you, Jesus often had this rhythm where he would go off into solitude and pray and think and talk to God. We also can have this rhythm, this consistent discipline in our lives of having the practice of silence be a normal rhythm and pattern for us, so that we can take time to hear from God. We can take time to assess what's going on in our hearts, beneath the waterline of our hearts, assess what the areas in which we need improvement and growth. Silence gives us the opportunity to learn more about the world around us, the world at large, and our world, our own individual worlds. So how can we implement silence? Very simply, setting time aside. I don't have, like, that's all I can tell you. Like, and it's something that I'm not good at. So I'm coming to you from a very honest place. But I know that if we're intentional enough, I've talked about intentionality in this podcast recently. If we're intentional enough to set time aside to sit and listen and think and dream and reflect on the past and meditate on the present and think toward the future, if we set aside intentional time in our day, maybe it's 5 minutes to start, maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's an hour if you're a monk or something, but like, what does it look like for you to embrace silence? To shut out the noise so that you can hear from heaven. You can reflect on what you've done. You can think toward who you want to be, what you want to do. You can sift through this present moment and how you should navigate each and every day afterwards. Silence and solitude give us an opportunity to learn more about the world, our world, and ourselves. So let's set some time aside today to sit in silence, to be in solitude, and receive whatever it is that God has for us. I really hope that encouraged you today. We'll talk soon.